turn me up a little. Yeah. Let me get a little more. They know who we at, man. Yeah. I stay entertained. Yeah. We stay entertaining. Yeah. Hey, we stay entertaining. Hey, we stay entertaining. We stay entertaining. Yeah. Now turn me up, baby. Now turn me up. We stay entertaining. Yeah. Hey, we stay entertaining. Hey, we stay entertaining. We stay entertaining. Yeah. Now turn me up, baby. Now turn me up. Hey, we stay entertaining. Now go and check the ratings. We got them up through the ceiling like elevators. House of X in the building, go going crazy. This shit was made for television. Pass the remote, baby. Now go and subscribe, comment, go live. Tell a friend to go and tell a friend. Make sure you tap in, cause we at it again. It's all entertainment, cause we stay entertained. Stay entertaining, yeah. Hey, we stay entertained. Hey, we stay entertaining, yeah. Hey, we stay entertained. Hey, we.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Ben with the kids.
Yes, welcome, guys.
Hope all is well.
Hope all is well. Welcome in.
Okay, how you doing?
Yes, how are you guys doing? And who do we have in the building?
Looks like lots of people.
Yes, we have It's Me, Wanston, in the building. All right.
Oh, not Wanston's here.
Yes, we got J&S Adventurers.
Okay.
They are front row and center, and they are ready, guys.
Ooh,
yes.
now they bought their ticket, honey.
They bought their tickets. Okay.
All right now.
We got Cruising is Fun Anytime.
Oh, she said anytime.
Yes. Hey, Cheryl. How you doing? Welcome in. We got Tyson the cosplayer.
Ooh, now he a cosplayer. Cheryl.
Welcome in. He says positive vibes. Welcome in. Hey, Wally Hustle. Hey, Mika Boo. How you doing?
Get your hustle on. Get your hustle on.
Welcome in. We got it's your boy Leo in the building.
Okay, Mr. 5-time award winner. You better slay, honey.
Yes, welcome in. Thank you for being here, guys. So today we have a very special guest. He made sure that he put us in his schedule, because he's always on the travel. He's always on the ship.
You don't say.
He's always going somewhere, so he made sure that he put us on his schedule.
Yes. And make sure you guys share this out.
Yes,
share with your friends. Share with your cousins.
Yes, what a live show. Hey, Lord Jones. Welcome in, Lord Jones. What's going on, Lord Jones? Welcome.
Thank you for being here.
Lord Jones is in the building.
If you like, please subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe, comment, share. If you like us even more, become a part of the X family by joining that membership.
Ooh, not the membership.
Yes, hello, everyone. Lord Jones is saying hello to everybody in the building. Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to share us out right now.
Oh, take your time. And hello to everybody that's on Bingo.
Shout out to Bingo.
Yes, okay. Thank you for inviting. Oh, you're welcome.
You come back anytime.
Yes, you come back anytime. Yes, so this lovely guest fit us in his schedule, guys. He was just on an amazing ship. Then he was just on another amazing ship, and then he was back on another one. And then right after this, guys, he's going back on another ship.
So I think he likes ships.
Huh? Yes, he does.
Okay. That's the name of his channel, Living on a Ship.
Yes, yes, he does. Hey, Shy, how you doing, boo? Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Shout out to the moderators in the building.
Okay, they said the people coming through.
Yes. And if you guys would like your link drop, just make sure you put hashtag HOX in the building.
HOX.
Yes, we got M. Stewart in the building. Hey. I'm Wanston.
And I'm Leo.
All right, welcome to the House of Entertainment. All right, welcome in. Welcome, family. Thank you guys so much for coming in. All right, welcome in. Okay. Hey, we got Evolving with Etta in the building. She
said, is you evolving or no?
Hey, Etta, darling, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in, Etta.
Thank you for being here. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Etta. Okay, Lord Jones is saying hey to Etta.
Yes.
Okay.
If you guys don't have each other, feel free to grab each other. Just type in hashtag House of X.
Hashtag HOX.
Yeah, HOX, and it'll drop your link.
Yes. All right, we got Janice Adventures is saying hit the like on the way. Thank you so much.
Yes, press that like button. Don't be scared.
Yes.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
So we got one more minute, guys, before we bring up this guest, y'all. Before we bring up this guest, we are so happy that his PR person was able to fit us in his schedule.
Oh, not fit us in.
Yes, we are so happy that the PR person was able to fit us in his schedule because he's on a lot of shows, right, Leo?
I know. We got the show potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does.
He's on a lot of shows.
Okay, show in the morning,
show in the afternoon, show in the evening, show at the night. Yes, he's on a lot of shows, honey.
You better go ahead and work it, honey. Put your thing down, flip it up.
Reverse it. Yes, guys. Okay.
Down.
Yes, guys.
I bet y'all don't even know what song that is.
I think I forgot, but I think I know it.
I wasn't asking. I'm asking the audience. They got to participate. Okay, they can't just sit here. They got to participate.
Yes.
That was small little part. What song is that a part of?
I think they know. I don't know.
They don't know, child.
Okay.
They may not listen to my music.
Tyson says, LOL, guys. Okay. Well, so, guys.
Wait a minute. I want to see if anybody gets it right. Wait, what?
Leo and Watson, how you doing? We're doing
good. I can't complain. You used to call me, but I don't know.
I think she's been busy.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Ooh, now she been busy, honey.
Yes, Etta, we gotta have our evolving time soon.
Okay. We used to call. They don't call me, child.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes, we gotta ring up.
She is a Kiki to hang out with. Anybody who takes time to meet her. She's a Kiki. I enjoy her spirit.
Yeah, she is.
God bless you.
She is. Okay.
So they don't know what part of the song that was? Put your thing down, flip it up, reverse it. Down. Y'all really don't know that?
After Vita, honey.
Oh, that's got videos every day, boo.
She been doing Vita. Yeah, she got that. Hey, we got Ron and Rose in the building.
Oh, you don't say.
Hey, Miss Rose, how you doing?
Okay, which one of y'all got my ice cream? Who got my ice cream?
Welcome in. Okay, so are you ready for the lovely guest?
Yes. Are they ready for the lovely guest?
Is you guys ready for the guest? Make sure you put your X's in the chat, guys. Are you ready for the guest this evening?
Okay. And that part that I had was singing. Oh, with
Missy Elliott, Leo.
Thank you. I said I know somebody in here know it. Okay. Not y'all know us and y'all know our music now. I said, wait a minute, can you move over a little bit? Thank you.
Yes. So
Watson takes up the whole room up here.
If you guys are ready for the guests, put your X's in the chat. And for the mods that is here, please make sure that you drop the X.
Now, how many people said Missy Elliott? Because only one person listens to Missy. Missy is legendary.
Yes. Please,
y'all need to get y'all Missy's on.
Please make sure that you put the guests' links in the chat where everyone can.
They probably Nicki Minaj fans.
Oh, sugar. Where everyone can find
make sure y'all buy her album, honey.
His link is in the description. Okay, guys. So bring into the stage right after this commercial. We have the one, the only, right here on the exclusive show, the Mustard Drill, Mr. Scott himself. Right after this, guys.
Hey, turn me up a little. Yeah. Let me get a little more. They know who we at, man. Yeah. Just stay entertained.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Mustard Drill. I'm Scott. I'm in beautiful Roatan, Honduras. Let's have a look around. Hi everyone, welcome back. We're on our last stop on the Carnival Mardi Gras at Roatan, Honduras. We were in Cozumel on Monday and Costa Maya on Tuesday, and today we spent the day here in Roatan, Honduras. We had a really great time today in Roatan, hanging out with
stay entertaining. Yeah, hey, we stay entertaining. Hey, we stay entertaining.
Bring it to the stage, guys. The mustard drill. Welcome to the show.
Oh man, it's great to be here. Thank you so much.
All right, and
All right.
Listen, the audience already love you. The questions are coming in. We didn't even pass the mic yet. So, Lord Jones, we see your question. We heart it. We're gonna get to the chat and just welcome some folks. We got Antoinette F Fun. Hey, friend. And we got Unbiased LLC.
Okay, you got your LLC or no?
Yes. Welcome in. Janice Adventure says, Scotty in the club.
Okay, in the club.
Yes, welcome in. Okay, so are you ready?
I think so. Wait. My mouth is dry.
Okay.
What do you want the audience to do first question?
We're going to give the audience the first question since it already came in, and it's from Lord Jones. All right, so we're passing the mic to the audience, and it says, X, mustard drill, how many pair of sunglasses do you have?
About 5 pairs.
Ooh.
So, and some of them are prescription.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right. Okay, cool. So now we know. All right. So I think you have the first one.
Mm-hmm. What inspired you to be a content creator?
Well, I've been on 55 cruises. So, I really obviously love cruising. And I just think that I think it's the most amazing vacation that you can take. There's so much diversity to it, so much, different things to do. There's a different ship and cruise line for, every person, and even the same person, but a different type of mood you might be in. So I just really felt like, cruising was something that I had a lot of experience in, and a lot to offer for as far as adventures and things like that goes. So, and I'm also a travel agent that specializes in cruising. So it just really kind of fit.
Okay.
Wow.
So I just wanted to share my experience about cruising and stuff like that. So
yeah, 55 cruises. Wow, that's amazing. We have a question from the audience, and thank you so much, Lord Jones, for telling Tyson the cosplayer to put his X. Tyson the cosplayer says, where is the craziest place you've been on the 7 seas?
Oh wow. Oh man. I we should have pre-screened these questions or whatever. I really I'll have to rack my brain about that one. Probably the jungle of Belize. So Central American rainforest. I hiked for about an hour to a river, where I then floated down the river, where everybody had to interlock their feet in the armpits of the person in front of them, so that nobody got washed down the river and died.
Oh my goodness.
So you have to interlock with somebody else. You don't get washed down the river?
Yes, because the river washes out frequently. In fact, we barely made it out of that river before a flash flood came down and would have completely submerged everything that we were because we went cave tubing. So we were tubing through caves and stuff. And we barely made it out of there before it came down and would have killed us all. So,
wow.
It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I got to see carpenter. I got to see those leaf cutter ants, that were marching and stuff and had big pieces of leaves on it and stuff like that. Things I'd only seen, on television as a child and stuff. So it was pretty exciting.
Wow. That's that. Wow. I would have been scared.
Okay.
We have one more question before I get to ask a question. From Cruising is Fun Anytime. Scott, when is your next cruise?
My next cruise is in just 6 days on the Carnival Venezia from the amazing Gotham City. And I cannot wait. And I actually get to meet Miss Cheryl on the island of Grand Turk.
All right.
Wow.
Is they really meeting or not?
Okay.
Can I ask one? So the next question is for the audience that may not know, please explain the meaning behind your name Mustard Drill.
Well, okay, so obviously the muster drill is the dreaded thing that everybody has to do before the cruise gets going, and lots of people hated it. And of course, I've been cruising for a very long time, so I remember when you used to have to go to your room, get your life jacket, put your life jacket on, go to your muster station, stand there shoulder to shoulder with everybody for, you know, about an hour in the beating, blazing sun. And just, you know, it was just a terrible thing, but it was the place you went to get like information and things like that. So I kind of was just putting it all together. And then I thought, I'm starting a YouTube channel right after the shutdown, you know, right after the restart. I want to get noticed. I want to stand out. So I used to wear this life jacket. If you look at some of my older videos, I used to wear a life jacket, and I had green screens and stuff like that. So I just kind of thought everybody knows the muster drill. They'll remember that, you know, so it's just kind of how it all, you know, came about. So I obviously don't wear the life jacket anymore, but I still have it. I have it back here, stashed in the back here. So.
Oh, cool.
That was very creative, though.
Yeah, it was.
To name yourself after something that you have to do on a cruise.
Okay. Maybe we'll pose a vote in the chat, you know, ask the audience, you know, do you guys want to see the muster drill put on the life jacket?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll go to the Etta and then I'll go.
Oh.
All right. We have a question from the audience from Evolving with Etta. What is one picture of you have that you're so proud that you have captured?
Oh, okay. So I have quite a few pictures. So before I was a YouTuber and everything else, I was also a photographer. So I spent a lot of time, and I have a lot of professional photography equipment, and I hiked. One of the pictures I'm really proud of is I hiked up the Smoky Mountains of Eastern Tennessee at like just the cusp of darkness, like just on that cusp between sunset, you know, dusk, and just with the last few moments of sunlight left. And I traipsed through the mountains to a waterfall, and I set my camera equipment up, and I did this long 5-minute exposure, and I was able to capture the most amazing waterfall image that I have ever seen. I actually had submitted it and won an online award for it. So it's, you know, one of the things that, you know, and I had to go through a lot of stuff to get that image. So, and of course I have a lot of other really great images of, you know, my travels and everything else, but that's probably one of them that I'm really proud of, but it's, you know, it's not cruise related. So,
Okay. We have another question from the audience.
Yes, we do.
From J&S.
From Janice Adventures. Scott, what was your most unfavorable departure port?
Oh, departure port. That's a trick question, right? That would absolutely, positively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, be Norfolk, Virginia.
Ooh.
So that was actually an experience I had last June, and it was just, I have a video about it. It's called Carnival Magic OMG Never Again. So, and it was just the absolute worst, terrible cruise experience of all time. So,
wow.
Took 7 hours to get on the ship.
7 hours.
7 hours to get on the ship.
It was just absolutely unbelievable. And then at the end of the cruise, came back. Now, I was lucky enough, but many people came back to find that their cars had been broken into and vandalized to the point where they were not even able to drive home after that.
Wow.
It was just absolutely horrible. It was a nightmare.
God.
And I will probably never sail from Norfolk again, no matter what the circumstances are.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Wow. Okay. All right.
You can take this.
Yes. So,
If you want to go to the cruising, you can.
I think I do have some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could jump around.
Yeah, I probably will. What was your dislikes and likes about the MSC Margarita Bill?
So MSC Maravilla or Margaritaville at Sea?
Maravilla. I'm sorry.
Maravilla. Okay. So I actually don't have too many dislikes about Maravilla. I actually am one of the few people that really likes Maravilla pretty much. So now my first experience with Maravilla was in Central Florida, and that was a very similar experience to my Norfolk experience. It took me about 5 hours to get on board. The line was stretched for at least 3 football field lengths. And then by the time I had made it to the final leg of it, the line was actually tripled over. It had gone down to the end of the building, turned around, came all the way back, turned around, and went halfway back down the building again. It was a very difficult experience. It took me about 5 hours to get on board. And almost the same amount of time to get off the ship at the end of the cruise. But I actually did like Maravilla. I found the experience. I found it to be a refreshing experience, because from the U.S. market, no matter what cruise line you sail, no matter where you're going, the experience is literally identical in almost every detail. And the experience on board the ship is also, with the exception of the differences in the ship in itself, the experience.
Hold on, guys.
Hey, welcome in, everybody.
They're trying to introduce a different concept of Italian style cruising into the U.S. market, and I'm really excited about that. You know, especially for as many cruises as I've been on, I'm definitely looking for new experiences and something unique, something different, and I really like that a lot. In fact, I went back on Maravilla again March of this year. Also on Maravilla in January of 24, as well as February of 24. Although in February of 24, I am going to be in the yacht club, and I am really looking forward to that yacht club experience on MSC.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Of course, those sailings the January and February sailings will be from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. January and February.
Shout out to New York.
Okay, so if we don't get to meet in this time, then January and February, cool.
Time out. Hold up. Wait a minute. January and February are extremely cold, Mary.
Yes, they are.
Yes. Yes.
Especially February.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cold. Okay, so seeing how you started your channel around the time during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
How did you maintain, your channel due to shutdown?
Yeah, that was rough. So, I tried to draw on a lot of my experiences having been on cruise. I tried to talk about, just different things that were related to my experiences about cruising, things I liked, things I enjoyed, different things about different ships that I had been on. And I tried to, kind of be innovative with my material and stuff, because there wasn't anything happening. And when there was news to report, of course, it was always COVID related, and it was pretty much the same from one week or one day to the next. And I mean, how people were really fatigued over it. I mean, so unless there was something significant or something really important to share about it,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people really were not tuning into a lot of that stuff. And so I really just tried to talk about other things. I did a video about the origins of Royal Caribbean and how that started, and featured one of their, you know, super old ships, and Viking King, I think it was called, or something like that, or whatever. And, you know, just different things. And, you know, I tried to, you know, keep it interesting and keep people's minds off of COVID. But then I also did, you know, talk about different things in COVID. And then, of course, when there was a lot of information leading up to the restart, then that was always something new to talk about, because there was always some new piece of information. Then when the restart happened and I finally was able to get on Carnival Mardi Gras, then that's when my channel really exploded. And it was back then, because I mean, there weren't very many YouTubers then, and cruising had just started, and people were so interested in, you know, what cruising was going to be like now post COVID. So, and I was one of the few channels out there actually cruising and making content. So, you know, I was very popular back then. So,
wow, that's amazing.
That's good.
Yeah. We have a lot of questions from the audience.
Lots of questions. That's what we like. Lots of questions.
All right, I'll try to keep my answers a little bit shorter.
So we're gonna
take as much time.
We're gonna pass the mic. So we have a question from Evolving with Etta.
You better come through, Etta.
He said, "Was the long line issue something that happened at that terminal, or was it just the crowd?"
Okay, so in Norfolk, I really felt like I kept waiting to see if, like, I told people in my vlog that about that situation. I said, you know, every time I would get to another part of the line, I kept expecting to then learn what the problem was. I was expected to be able to see it and say, oh, okay, that's why it took so long. But I never saw it. I just, every time I got to a different section or different leg of the process, it just seemed like it was normal, but it still just took forever. And it's not like they were short-staffed. They had tons and tons of people. They had people running down the line with phones that were able to check you in and stuff like that. I really never figured out why it took so long in Norfolk, but it did. And in Port Canaveral with Maravilla, I really felt like it was an inefficiency with the company that MSC or that Port Canaveral uses to process at Terminal 10 at Port Canaveral, which is where MSC sails out of. Because when I went back there again in March, it was, again, almost a similar experience. And it was the same company that was operating operating the process. Interesting enough, when I sailed on Carnival Magic from New York City in September of last year to New England and Canada, that was, again, Magic in Norfolk, Magic in New York City. I saw a lot of the same, because I was in Norfolk in June and in New York City in September. So not a lot of those experiences was fresh in my mind. I saw a lot of the same faces of the people who worked there. And I think it's the same company that worked in Norfolk that works in New York City. And it took me 3 hours to get on the ship in New York City, which again, I thought was a bit excessive. So so I think it was just the company. I think they were just inefficient, and it was unfortunate. So
wow. We have a question from Cruising is Fun Anytime. Says, Scott, what is your idea of a bucket list cruise?
Well, I mean, my bucket list, I had 2 bucket list cruises on my, really, I mean, like, my bucket list is very small, right? So my bucket list, 2 bucket list cruises was Cuba and China.
Wow. Okay.
And I was one of the lucky ones that got to go to Cuba. And Cuba remains my absolute favorite destination, my favorite cruise. That there are no words to describe how absolutely extraordinary that experience was in Cuba. Not only was it a cruise, but the Cuban government required a cultural exchange with everybody who visited there on cruise ships. So it wasn't your standard typical get off, go do an excursion, or get off and wander around in the port area or whatever. You had to actually go and interact with people, with Cubans. You had to interact with them. You had to spend hours with them, having an exchange, having conversations, learning about them and their way of life and being Cuban, and exchanging information with them on where you were from and how, you know, and how things were different for you. And that, I just cannot describe how absolutely extraordinary that experience was. It was just fantastic. And I had just the most amazing time, and I am so fortunate to have been able to have that experience. And I really hope that we get to go back there some other day. And then, of course, my only remaining one is China. I really want to go and sail probably Royal Caribbean in China. They seem to have the best itineraries and the best experience for China cruises, and I'm hoping to do that. So,
Wow.
Ron and Rose says I want to go to Cuba too.
Yeah.
Cuba is just absolutely fantastic. The most amazing people I ever met in my life. Absolutely most amazing people.
Wait, what did they shut down? The cruise line or Cuba?
To sail to Cuba, I believe.
Yeah, we can't sail to Cuba anymore. So President Obama was the one that started that whole dialogue that made that whole thing possible. And then, of course, when President Trump came in, he shut it down. And I was hopeful that when President Biden took over that he would open it back up again, but no such luck. So.
Wow. And
I think part of the reason why we can't go back right now too is during that entire process there were some issues where the exiles, the people who were exiled from Cuba, and in a lot of cases big predominant companies, like a lot of people don't know this, the rum company Bacardi. A lot of people, you know, say, oh, Bacardi is a Puerto Rican rum. It's from Puerto Rico and stuff like that. No, actually, it's Cuban. And Bacardi was a Cuban a rum distillery. And unfortunately, during the revolution, they had to flee Cuba and they fled to Puerto Rico. So, but in any event, a lot of these really wealthy families from Cuba, and some of them who owned the property at the ports in Havana, and those people filed lawsuits against the Cuban government in federal court in the United States, claiming that the Cuban government did not have rights to those ports to allow the cruise ships to come in and dock. So I think that could be another reason why it's kind of a gray, hairy mess. And I think the current administration just doesn't want to get back into it again. So.
Wow. We have a question. Hold on. Let me go back up.
Back up to the question.
Yes. From Ron and Rose, are you a travel agent?
Okay.
Yes, I am. I've been a travel agent since 2016. So I was an IT, excuse me, I was an IT guy for most of my life. And I worked for the Pennsylvania legislature, for the Pennsylvania State Senate. And I retired from there. And shortly after that, in 2016, I opened up a travel agency called Sail Away Cruise and Travel, and specialize in cruising and all-inclusive resorts to the Caribbean. And I've been doing that ever since, and I love it. I love sending people on vacation. I love planning vacations for people. I love treating your vacation like my own. I love dotting every I and crossing every T like it was me traveling. And I love, hearing about my clients' experiences and being part of that, excitement of somebody getting to go on vacation. So
I know that's right.
All right.
You can go ahead and take it.
All right. So what do you enjoy on your channel more? Cruise and travel vlogs or cruise news?
Oh, the vlogs for sure.
Okay.
I absolutely love the vlogs. So even when I have to do 127 takes to get that vlog right, I love doing the vlogs. So
okay. All right.
In your opinion, what is your favorite traveling vlog?
Favorite vlog. So like favorite competitor. It's rough. I have a couple favorites. So one of my favorites, believe it or not, is Cruising with Keith. So Cruising with Keith, he is a new channel, right? But when you watch Keith's videos, he has so much passion. Like he's really, really dedicated and driven to bring you that information. And he's, you know, and he's just really excited to do the vlogs, and, you know, and he just has a really good mannerism about himself. So I'm really enjoying it. And again, he's a new channel, right? He also lives in New York. So he was just on Venezia as well. So I think for the second time or whatever. Of course, like when I first started watching vlogs and stuff like that, like my favorite vlogs were, you know, La Lita Loca, right? Like everybody else, I watched La Lita Loca. I watched Don's Family Vacations. I watched Sea Cruisers and stuff like that or whatever, the two sisters and stuff, but before their big scandals and stuff like that or whatever. But in any event, you know, I like some of the, I try to watch all the channels, right? You know, I try to watch everybody as much as I can. So, I mean, I feel kind of terrible if I say like everybody's my favorite channel, right? No, because I don't want to single anybody out. I don't want anybody to think that if I say what, you know, this channel or that channel, that doesn't mean that I don't love these other channels too. Because I don't, because I think everybody brings their own unique perspective. It's one of the reasons why I think this space is fine. You know, everybody's like, oh wow, there's so many vloggers about cruising and stuff like that. Yes, but we all have our own perspectives. We all have our own, you know, unique look on and view on things or whatever. Some people do ship tours and cabin, you know, reveals and things like that or whatever. I don't tend to do that, although I do tend to show a little bit around the ship and things like that or whatever. I tend to do more about, like, my all-time inspiration for vlogging is Casey Neistat. So I don't know if you know who Casey Neistat is, but he's this massive channel. He rode around New York City on an electric skateboard, wore sunglasses, right? And he was my inspiration, and he always vlogged about what he was doing and where he was going and how he, and that's why I vlog the way I vlog. And I use this special feature on my camera that allows me to show primarily what I see and then puts me up in the corner, so that you can see what I'm seeing instead of just trying to see a little bit of what's behind me and my, you know, and mostly me. I try to show everybody where I'm at. This is what I'm seeing. You're seeing it as I'm seeing it. And I like to talk to them about my experience and what I liked and what I didn't like and where I'm going and what I'm doing. And I want everybody to see what I'm seeing. So as I'm seeing it. So that's what I like the most about it. So.
Yeah, that's what made me get that little app on.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
That's the only thing iPhone don't have.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I just learned this. I just learned this really cool trick. If I may show you guys, right? I just learned this really cool trick. You're gonna see me without my uniform on, right, everybody? But so I took this like crazy picture of myself, right, in my car, right? So if you hold on your picture, and then it pops it out, and then you can drop it out, and then you can hit save to your camera roll, and then it actually creates an image of you without a background.
Oh wow!
So that you can then use it in your, you know, vlogs or your thumbnails or this, that, or whatever. It just completely removes the background, and all you have to do is take a selfie of yourself and push and hold on it until the menu pops up and just save it, and it just completely removes the background. And you can do it not only with you, but you could do it with other objects and stuff like that too. It's that simple. I will no longer have to bring everything into Canva and then remove the background in Canva and then do something else with it. So,
and this is with what phone now?
That is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra.
You better work Ultra.
Samsung Galaxy.
Yes, Samsung Galaxy. So, and I think that will work on many different Galaxy versions, even older than mine. So,
okay. All right. Yeah, see, it's going to take me forever to learn that phone if I switch.
We're not switching. We are iPhone people.
Yes. All right. So, okay. Which cruise line do you prefer, and why? Carnival, Royal, or MSC?
Oh,
This is always the tough question. I prefer Royal Caribbean, but not by much. There are different facets to Scott from the muster drill, right? So sometimes Scott feels like Royal Caribbean, sometimes Scott feels like the mustard, feels like the Carnival ships. So I can get into the groove, for lack of a better way of putting it. I can get into the groove for either experience, but I'm probably most loyal to Royal Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
It's the loyalty for me.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, like I said, I just think the experience on Royal Caribbean is just a tad bit above Carnival. Not that there's anything wrong with the experience on Carnival. I am not of the belief that Carnival is a Walmart cruise line or anything like that. Like, I love Carnival. I think it's great. I'm getting ready. I'm getting on a Carnival ship in 6 days. So, I don't hate Carnival at all. And I don't feel that way. I just feel like Royal Caribbean is just slightly higher elevated experience, and I like the experience on Royal Caribbean a little bit more. I really like the big ships. I like the big ships with all the stuff to do and all of the space to spread out on. And of course, if you want the big ships, you got to get on Royal Caribbean because they have the biggest ships. Although I am quickly falling in love with MSC. Simply because I really like that Italian style cruising. I think their ships are really nice, really beautiful, very elegant, and they still have that European aspect to the way the whole flow of the ship is. And I like that because it's new and it's different, and it reminds me more of the back in the day when I first started cruising, when cruising was way more of an elegant affair than it is today. When they were putting chocolates on your pillows, and if you showed up at the dining room even on a non-formal night in jeans or a t-shirt, they turned you away, and things like that. So the MSC experience reminds me a little bit more of that. So from a nostalgia standpoint, I really like it.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So, speaking about Royal, you have something behind you from Royal.
Yes, I do have this. So this is the ever coveted crystal block. So this is something that you get from Royal Caribbean after you've sailed 140 nights on board, and combined of the ship. So this is a crystal block. Then I think you get a new crystal block every 40 nights or so. And of course, the block you get is always the ship that you're on when you reach that milestone. So because of COVID, we were not able to get this block before. But so when I went on Oasis last week, they issued it. My cabin steward said to me the second night, he was like, Mr. Scott, I have something for you. And I was like, oh, what? And he gave me this thing. And this thing is so heavy, like you could put a dent in a tank with this thing, as heavy as it is. So he handed it to me, and I was like, thank God I'm not flying with it, or I would need to pay a heavy bag charge for the airline because this thing is so heavy. So yeah, so I'm really excited to have this. And with so many more of the, I have so many more cruises since that I reached that milestone or whatever, it probably won't be very long before I have another one.
Oh, wow. We have a question from the audience from Cruising is Fun Anytime. Says, have you ever rode the roller coaster on Royal?
Oh.
Have I ever rode the carousel on Royal?
Yeah, the carousel.
Yeah. So I have not, but on Oasis class ships on the boardwalk, in the boardwalk neighborhood, there is a carousel. And I have not ridden it though, but I will one of these days. Maybe in October when I go on the Wonder of the Seas, which is also that's the latest Oasis class ship. And I'll be on that at the end of October. Unfortunately, it's the reason why I can't make the booze cruise. This year's booze cruise is because I'll actually be getting off Wonder of the Seas the same day the booze cruise leaves from New Orleans, and I will be in Central Florida, and I just won't be able to get there. So,
Oh,
are you going on the next one?
I am definitely going on 2.0 for sure.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Eddie Lugos. Hey, Eddie.
Eddie.
He says, RCCL, send it to me. RCCL,
Send it to the wrong
address.
Yep. So I was very excited to get the block because we've been talking about it. In fact, we were planning the ship we would be on when we got the block because, and I hate to say it, but it sounds a little cruise snobby, right? But we didn't want the block from an old small ship. We wanted the block from like a nice big ship. So
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
The bigger the better. I
think you're gonna next. Okay. All right. Where should we go? Where should we go?
Want to take one?
I'm gonna take another one. Hold on. All right. Okay. So
they're about cruising, man.
I was gonna go to cruising. I was gonna go to travel. I've been bouncing around.
Okay.
So, all right. As a travel agent, what are some key points that you can give to first-time cruisers if they book with you?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, definitely fly in the day before if you're flying to your cruise destination. Definitely fly in before 2 days if you can ahead of time, but definitely at least the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overpack. It's advice that I should follow myself, but don't. But don't overpack. Just because you'll end up not wearing a lot of first-time cruisers are very nervous. They're like, oh, I'm going to be on the ship. I need extra clothes. I need this. I need that. I need all this other stuff. No, you don't. You'll be fine. Don't do it. Don't stress out over it. You'll be fine. Don't do it. I would say definitely use a travel agent because the travel agent will definitely, have more experience and more, helpful hints and tips and stuff for you. We definitely look out for you on, a lot of different things, price reductions. Not that those things are happening anytime soon with demand being through the roof, but if that happens, also, if there's an issue with your cruise and stuff like that, your travel agent will definitely be your advocate, be there to work for you and everything else. And remember, travel agents work for free. A travel agent does all of their work for free, does not get paid until about 2 weeks after you get back from your trip.
Oh, wow.
And the travel agent is paid by the cruise line from their bottom line, not from yours. So you, in most cases, will actually end up paying less money for your cruise if you book through a travel agent, but you definitely will not pay more. And you definitely there's not a built-in hidden charge for the travel agent's fee. It actually comes out. You're paying that travel agent fee whether you book through the travel agent or not. So why not use the travel agent and get the experience and the benefit of using the travel experience? Or the travel agent. So I would say, definitely use a travel agent. The last thing I would say is take some time when you first get on the ship to familiarize yourself with the ship. Learn where everything is, go around, explore the ship a little bit, learn where this, that, and everything else is, so that when, especially if it's first time, because you want to show up at the theater, you want to know where it is, you don't want to be wandering around looking for it, you don't want to miss a show, you don't want to be late for dinner, you don't want to do any of that stuff. So take some time to familiarize yourself. And when you get to the ports, go and explore the place you are in. Mm-hmm. And then take a little bit of time to look around the port area when you get back, but don't miss out on the opportunity to go and experience that place and that land and that culture that you, don't get to see every day when you're at home. So,
amen. That's some great advice. That's some great advice.
Excellent.
Etta says, I'm still an overpacker after all these years. I'm the same way.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I still overpack for sure. And every time I come back and I think I didn't wear half of that, and the next time I'm taking it anyway. So
yes. Hey, we have Edna's World in the building.
Hi, Edna.
Edna. How you doing? Welcome in, and shout out to Nut House on Bingo.
Okay, shout out
You want
to
the next
you.
Okay.
Okay. When it comes to your channel, how did you know traveling was going to be your niche?
Well, I mean, obviously, because like I had been on so many cruises, I'm a travel agent. So I thought, you know, I mean, that's the best advice to anybody, you know, I mean, you know, talk about what you know, talk about what you know, talk about what you're, most passionate about. I love, I love traveling. I said I love cruising. I mean, I like traveling anywhere. I've been obviously I take plenty of vacations that are not cruises, plenty of trips that aren't cruises, but cruising is my favorite, and and that's just really where it came from. So, I'm a travel agent, love to travel, love to cruise, had a lot of experience at it. It was kind of a no-brainer. So.
Okay.
Most definitely. Want me to take another?
Yes.
Okay, so this one's about monetization. Now that you're monetized, what can your audience expect going forward with you?
Okay, so I have been horrible at edits and content release, right? So my audience can definitely expect a more frequent vlog release. So more frequent content, fresh content. And in the not terribly distant future, you can expect to see more diverse content from me. So I'm going to be working in some more land-based vacations as well, as cruise, in addition to cruising, as well as cruises from other parts of the world like the Mediterranean and Australia. So,
Okay. All right.
I would love to go to Australia.
I need passport.
Really? I know that, Miss Nara.
All right. What are some of your highlight moments you had from the Carnival Mardi Gras?
Well, first of all, being on an XL ship, I mean, I thought I was prepared for it, but I really was just wowed. I mean, it really knocked my socks off. I thought, wow, Carnival finally is getting with it now, getting with the, with getting on the ball and realizing who they're up against and stuff like that, and really, taking it to the next level. So the things that really wowed me was obviously the size of the ship, the layout of the ship. I mean, really well designed, and not just a big ship with everything thrown in it, kind of like that's what Norwegian Epic I consider to be an absolute epic failure as far as cruise ships go and design and stuff like that. So not at all like that at all. Just really well thought out, really well designed and intuitive. A lot of design elements that the cruise lines tend to rip each other off for things, right? MSC is a big ripoff of the existing U.S. lines, but again, they're trying to appeal to a U.S. market. They're trying to break into it, so they're trying to appeal to things that people already like about the other lines. Right. So they are doing a lot of even more ripping off than maybe the rest of them do for each other, but not necessarily any ripoffs and stuff like that. Really, just unique designs and stuff like that. I love the layout. I love how it flowed. Of course, I loved the roller coaster. I couldn't wait to ride the roller coaster when I got on there, called Bolt. So I rode that. It just really just was, blown away at all the additional food options and stuff like that. Loved the concept that a lot of the specialty restaurants were included. So that you could go and do that. Again, a first for Carnival, first for any of the other lines as well. So I was really impressed by that. But just overall in the shows on Carnival, like they have this show called Celestial Strings, and that show is just like, I'm like, all right, who did Carnival kill to get this show? Because that show is not like anything Carnival has ever done, and it's amazing. Quite frankly, it's something I would expect to see on Royal Caribbean.
Okay.
Royal Caribbean shows are just that much more, above the bar, and it was just amazing, and I loved it. Knocked my socks off. So.
Yeah,
that's right. Is we knocking the socks off or no?
Yes. So, the roller coaster. Like
Yes.
how I know it goes around the funnel,
Yes.
but how you get I believe you would have to go up the level, the deck where the funnel is to get on. So is it a
Yes.
charge or is it free?
No, it's a $15 charge, which I think is kind of unfortunate because here's the thing, right? On Royal Caribbean, some of Royal Caribbean ships have like extra things like that, like the Flow Rider, and they have iFly, which is a skydiving simulator that you get in and you skydive inside it and stuff like that. And that stuff is all you have to pay. That stuff is all free for the first ride, right? So the first time you do it, it's free. And then if you want to do it again on your cruise, then you have to pay for it. And I really feel like Carnival should give everybody a free ride on Bolt. And then if you want to ride Bolt again, then pay the $15 to ride it. But it's not. It's $15 per ride. You schedule it and you have to schedule it as well. So you know, and it's not open all the time. And if the weather's bad and stuff like that, it's not open. So you get into the app, you find it, you schedule it, you pick a time that's available from it, and then you show up and you get on. So
okay. How high is it?
It's pretty high. I mean, it's higher than anything else on the ship. So it's completely up above the ship. And there's a boost button on it. So if you push the boost button, it actually gets up to 40 miles per hour, right? Which you think is not necessarily that fast for a roller coaster. But believe me, when you are up that high on a cruise ship and the ship is moving and you hit that boost button, it feels like it's way faster. So it's a fantastic experience. I encourage everybody to do it, and I encourage Jeremy from JNS Adventures to do it twice.
Oh, he's not going to do it. I can tell you right now, he is not going to do that roller coaster.
I'm going to have a talk when his ship and my ship are docked in Grand Turk. I'm going to have a conversation with some crew members from his ship so that they can keep encouraging him throughout his cruise.
No, he's not going to do it.
Okay.
We was on the rooftop when they were in New York.
Do it.
How are you going to tell him to do it? And you didn't like being on the rooftop.
Miss Mary, this is not about me. This is about him.
Oh, sugar. We have a question from Lord Jones. Doesn't the boat actually go out over the ocean?
There might be like a small spot where it kind of dips out around the side of it, but I don't think so. Like, I think it gets close though. I think it gets really close. So
yeah, because it goes around and then it dips and then comes back around.
Yeah, and then like on the back part of it, it actually has like a horizontal loop and stuff as well too. So it's really just amazing, absolutely amazing experience. So I love how they keep pushing the envelope. But the skydiving is probably the most amazing thing I've ever done on a cruise ship, as far as like, you know, that kind of thrill ride or something like that. That was really pretty, just over the top for sure. So
all right, okay.
Shout out to skydiving.
Yeah.
How many of y'all in here skydive?
Yeah,
The streets want to know. Okay.
So, as a travel agent, have you ever had a difficult client, and how did you handle it?
Yes, I have had plenty of difficult clients, but you know, when I say plenty, I mean like a few. How about that? We'll say a few. I mean, the easiest way to handle it is to listen, and, look for ways to, like most clients, most of the difficult clients I've had was because of a problem that they had while they were on, right? The easiest thing to do is to listen and to try to offer a solution, to come up with a solution. So I would say probably my most difficult client was was a person who traveled during the peak of COVID to a foreign country to stay in an all-inclusive resort, knowing the risks, knowing the dangers, and who was not vaccinated.
Oh, wow.
And he was very upset when he traveled there and couldn't travel home because he was positive.
Oh my God.
And so he was stuck in that country for 2 weeks, and he had no contact with anybody but me, and he didn't know what to do, and and he was upset, and so therefore he was curt and short with his temper and things like that or whatever, and he was very upset. So what I did was I communicated with the resort. I even communicated with the U.S. embassy in that country to and an embassy representative visited him at the resort and gave him some more assurances. And in the end, when he was back home and calmed down and everything was okay, he thanked me very much for being there for him and being his advocate in it. But during that situation, it could have went just as mad as he was and as upset as he was, and as much as he was yelling and screaming about this and that and everything else. Even just one word out of my mouth at the wrong time really could have just made the whole thing 100 times worse. And it's really easy for somebody to feel it's really easy when you're being yelled at. It's really easy for you to lose sight that they're not yelling at you. They're upset about the situation they're in. And so it really becomes a point where you have to disconnect the human side of you from that and just be an ear and listen and just focus on the problem and not taking their attitude or their situation personally. And I think that's very difficult, especially when you're being yelled at. It's very difficult to remain calm about that. But I was able to do that, and I do that in every situation that I'm in. In fact, I was talking to my my co-hosts in the morning show about it at one time. And now I haven't lately, but in the early days of my channel, I was inundated by viewer comments about wearing sunglasses in my videos. And they did not like that I wore sunglasses. In fact, some of them were just downright disturbing and rotten in their comments to me because I had sunglasses on. And I could have easily just fired back at them, but I felt like I felt like it made me a better person in order to be able to just respond to them and say, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your position. Thank you for your, you're sharing your comment about it. I appreciate you. Appreciate your comment about it. This is why I wear sunglasses, and no, I'm sorry, I can't take them off. Right? It's part of who I am. It's part of my YouTube, it's part of my YouTube experience. This is how I will present this information to you. If you are here for the information that you're going to get, or if you're here for, to see the places that I'm going to, if you're here to experience that, surely my sunglasses should not detract from the substance of my video, whether it's information or just entertainment. And, instead of just saying, now there was one person who really crossed the line, and I unfortunately did have to block that user from my channel. But I would say out of the hundreds of people over a course of 2 years who gave me a lot of grief about my sunglasses, I only had to block one. And I would say in the last year of my channel, I've only gotten a single comment of somebody who asked me what's up with the sunglasses. So what I decided to do after fielding and being diplomatic in so many of my responses about the sunglasses was I decided that moving forward, any comment about my sunglasses will be ignored. It will not be deleted, but it will not be acknowledged, and it will not be, it will just simply be ignored. And that is how I'm handling it moving forward.
Well, you can block the words. So when people ask about glasses, you can just block that word glasses.
Yes. And listen, I want them to be able to comment. If they want to comment and say, hey, what's up with the sunglasses? Or, hey, lose the sunglasses. Or if you don't take those sunglasses off, I'm not watching your channel anymore. And I'm just simply going to pretend like it's
Yeah.
I don't want people to feel like they can't express themselves about things that in my channel. Like, you know, as long as they're as long as they're not crossing any lines about it, I want them to feel like, you know, they have the right to voice their opinion about it or make a comment about it. Like I said, as long as it doesn't cross any lines, it's not inappropriate or anything like that, or threatening or anything. But other than that, I want them to be able to do it. I just simply am not going to take the time out to explain myself. It's my channel. This is how I handle it. If you don't like it, there are 750 million additional YouTube channels that you can go and watch.
Yes. Okay. Is y'all watching them or no?
Not 750.
Okay. Million, honey.
Yes. So, as a travel agent, let's say you had a customer that had a budget with $1,200 to work with. How would you find
That's $1,200.
Yes, $1,200. How would you find a land trip vacation or an evolving with others words are all inclusive, or a cruise for them, which means, you know, the cruise is paid, the flight is paid, working with that budget right there?
Well, I mean, here's what it comes down to, right? Like, you know, I am in some cases I am a miracle worker, right? But I can't always guarantee that. And unfortunately, you know, the first thing I would probably, you know, if I could get close to it, I would start to maybe I would reduce the amount of nights if it was a cruise, right? That would certainly help fit a cruise into that kind of budget. You know, that was the first thing I would do for a cruise side. Same thing with an all-inclusive. I would reduce the amount of nights that the vacation is to try to fit that in that budget. But unfortunately, and at the end of the day, if that is just not possible, no matter what the combination is, or if that creative configuration of the vacation does not, suit the, the traveler, or the client, unfortunately, I would have to, I'd have to tell them, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing available that we can fit you in on that. I would certainly recommend other times of the year. Like the best times to travel as far as price economically is kind of end of September, early October to about maybe the first or second week of December, excluding Thanksgiving. So excluding that week, but I would try to maybe possibly fit them into a different time of the year or something like that or whatever. But again, at the end of the day, it might not be possible, but the first thing I would definitely do is try to reduce the number of nights to try to fit things in, because the less nights, the cheaper the cruise.
Okay. Do you have another one?
Oh, okay. What are your likes or dislikes about YouTube?
Oh my God, you have 5 hours just for the dislikes. I love that YouTube is still a relatively free platform, right? I love that anybody can just come along still after all of this time. I love that people can just still come along and turn their camera on and make content and put it out there, and anybody can watch it. It's definitely one of the things I love. I love that, there is an opportunity for you to grow a channel into a point where it can actually maybe make you some money.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like about YouTube is the lack of oversight, the lack of appeal or repeal, the lack of human override, for lack of a better way of putting it. I had my own experience on YouTube in that case. It's a really long story. I'm going to super condense it here. I had bots visit my channel that caused invalid traffic on my channel, that caused YouTube to not demonetize my channel, but to remove ads from many of my videos for a very significant amount of time, and then only add back ads that are very low CPV or pay-per-view. Or I mean,
Yeah.
cost per view. So very low CPV. So therefore, it significantly reduced the amount of revenue that I was generating from my channel. And every time I reached out to them about it, it was literally like talking to a bot.
Yeah.
There was no there was no human oversight. There was no appeal. There was no way to get like a human to go and evaluate they would always say the system, which is really the AI, the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no way to get them to override that. And it was like speaking to a wall. And it was very frustrating for me for a very long time. And I eventually just had to have a come to Jesus moment on it and let it go. But to this day, if I allow myself to, I will go down a rabbit hole of despair over it. So that's some of the things I don't like about YouTube is that, I think that whole process is very unfair when something goes wrong.
Yeah.
You need somebody to really just kind of take a look at it, and there isn't. And it's deliberate. It's deliberately set up that way by them so that they don't have to have that kind of process in place.
Yeah. Hopefully they change it.
Was somebody upset with you and they brung bots?
Good question. I mean, as you know, as a gamer, right? So somebody was just, like, oh, I think I'll send bots to this guy's channel today. Most of the time it's because you piss somebody off, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. I don't know what it is. Could have been anything. But all I know is every time I posted a video, which was at that time daily, I was posting daily at that time. Every day I posted, my comment section was overwhelmed, hundreds of comments that you could tell were bots.
Yeah.
And of course the corresponding views and stuff like that were, lowering my engagement and my click-through rates and everything else and stuff like that. And the algorithm noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And, so like the biggest frustration I had was I had this one video that had 4,200 views in the first week that I published it. And 3,900 of those views, according to my own analytics, were as a result of a recommendation by YouTube. So YouTube recommended my video, to people, and 3,900 people clicked on it and watched it.
Okay.
But they said that it was all invalid. And when I get a screenshot of it, and when you're chatting with creator support, and I put the screenshot in there, and they said, thank you for the screenshot. Let's take a look at it. And then they come back. They're like, okay, we looked at it. What do you want to talk about? What about the screenshot do you want to talk about? And I said, well, do you see where it says 3,900 from recommended? And they said, yes. And I said, so explain to me how those can be invalid if you recommended them.
Yeah.
If you recommended it to people, I said, so is YouTube recommending my video to fake accounts?
Mm.
And then they said, no, YouTube would never do that. And I said, okay, so you're telling me that was 3,900 accounts that are legitimate and real, and you recommended it, and people did exactly what you wanted them to do, which was to click on the thing when you recommended it to them. And I said, so how can it be invalid? And the answer to that was, further research is required. We have to transfer this chat into an email, and you will receive a response after we investigate your, claim.
Yeah.
Great. I'm like, fine. I get an email 5 minutes later. We looked at the situation. The ruling stands. Have a nice day.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a bot and a robot. That don't even sound like a person.
Yeah. I was just like, look, I pulled all my hair out over it. So, I was just so upset about it. And again, like, you couldn't do anything about it. And that's one of the things that really upsets me about YouTube is that entire process, because, here's the biggest thing about it. At the end of the day, obviously everybody wants to make money at anything that they do, right? But that is not why money is not why I do YouTube. Okay. I mean, it's always something that you enjoy getting as a result of it, but money was never my goal. It was never the reason why I was doing YouTube. But that entire situation and that entire process sucked the creativity and the desire and the will to create out of me. And it really made it hard for me to stay motivated to create content for a platform that would do me so dirty.
Yeah.
So I had to really work through that and get past it so that I could continue to create content, because that is what I love doing. I love bringing my perspective to people who enjoy this same thing that I enjoy, which is traveling and cruising.
Okay.
I know that's right.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
You want me to do it? You want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well. So in your opinion, please explain how important it is to share a video.
I mean, like, super important. I mean, like, it's the paramount thing, really, because, you know, YouTube users are super fickle people, and if you're not constantly releasing something new and fresh, they will forget about you in a New York minute. Okay. So, you know, so that is, I think, paramount, that you have to keep constantly creating content that and content, you know, like, it's easy to just say, you know, like, when you're, if you take time to learn how to be a YouTuber, if you study how to be a YouTuber from the channels that teach people how to be a YouTuber, you know, you always hear the same thing, no matter who you watch. You always hear, create compelling content, create, you know, create dynamic content, create thumbnails that make people want to click on things, create interesting content, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff, right? You know, connect with your audience, you know, do your research, find out what people are looking for, and then create content that, you know, appeals to that desire that they're looking for. And so, you know, that all sounds like it should be easy to do, right? But it just isn't. And, you know, so it's important for you to, you know, it's an evolution. When you first start recording, I mean, I knew I was going to do things about cruising, but I just hit record and just talked. And in fact, if you watch the very first video, I say a lot of stuff like that. I say, like, okay, so this is our first channel and we're supposed to just click the record button, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to say, but, you know, but we're going to keep recording videos, and hopefully we're going to get better at, I mean, I just kind of just rambled about stuff. Right. But I knew that, you know, so I knew I wanted to stay focused on it. So I just kept trying to learn from each last video and just stay consistent with what I was doing. But at the same time, I was trying to look at what other people were doing. I was trying to do my keyword research and things like that to try to see that. But at the same time, I didn't want my content to be about, okay, well, today people have been searching about this, so now I'm going to create a video about that. Like, some YouTubers do that, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to create content about what it was that I was going to do when I went on a cruise, because I know that a lot of people will want to do that too. Right.
Yeah.
And to those people, they're going to be like, hey, that's exactly what I was thinking I would do. And I saw your video and it was great. And thank you so much for sharing that with me. And hey, by the way, that was really great. But do you mind if I ask you another question? You know, like, do they have lockers for, you know, on the island and stuff like that? And then I can respond and say, yes, I do. And they're like, great, you know, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. So that's really, you know, but you want to make sure that your content is fresh and constantly coming, because if you take a long time off, these users, your audience, will, you know, forget about you and move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to be forgotten, honey.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Or nah. So at this time, guys, we are going to show the Mustard's Drill website. Okay, so here we go. So let us see. Come on, StreamYard. Okay. All right, here we go, guys. This is the travel agent himself, Mr. Scott. It says, sail away, cruise, and travel.
Okay.
All right, so this is his
LLC.
LLC. Ooh, nice. All right, let me get it together. Sail away, cruise and travel LLC.
All right now.
Okay. All right, so you got his information right here. That lovely picture right there.
Oh, his telephone number.
Yes, telephone number, email address.
Okay.
You can find him on Twitter. You can
Facebook,
find him on Facebook and Instagram.
All right.
Okay.
Now. He got all the platforms.
Yes.
All right.
And here you have the lovely cruise information.
Now, admittedly, I have not updated my website in a very long time, so I apologize if it seems
All right, the lovely deal.
rudimentary.
Why work with me? Ooh, let's see.
With me. Come
On it. It's Scott. Yes.
Oh, no, I was just on top.
Yes. Sail Away Cruise Travel provides excellent customer service.
You better work customer service.
While focusing on your unique vacation needs, we will ensure your vacation is truly memorable.
All right.
Unlike booking websites, we'll go above and beyond to make sure all your needs is met and all your questions are answered.
Okay, for questions answered.
That's personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
All right, for personal attention. Now I'm here for the personal attention. Okay.
It says, contact me today.
Oh.
All right. You guys want personal attention?
Oh, look, there's Central Park.
Yes. That is the ship I want to go on. That has Central Park, particularly just for Central Park.
Isn't that the one with the line? The jet line or zip line or something?
The zip line?
Yes,
No.
there's a zip line on all the Oasis class ships as well. But now that does not go over Central Park; it goes over the Boardwalk neighborhood. But it is another really great feature and amenity on the ships. And again, it's free the first time you do it. So.
And these are some pictures from All Inclusive. He books family travel, group bookings, romance travel. Ooh. If you
I don't do much romance travel, but I do some. I do, there's not a huge I've fielded a couple of wedding travel packages and stuff as well, but ended up not actually booking them, but definitely held some brides' hands for a while. So
they said no sunglasses in the picture.
Cool.
No.
All right, guys. So this is his website. The link is also in the description for all of you guys to go ahead and contact Scott.
Yeah. So unfortunately, my YouTube channel does not have a website at the moment, but it will at some point in time. But I just busy.
So now we're gonna go to his YouTube channel. All right. So here we go. This is his YouTube channel, guys. The Mustard Drill.
Okay.
He is well over 6,000 and some subscribers, guys. So make sure that you guys go ahead and get him closer to that 7,000 subscribers.
Okay.
All right. As you guys can see, beautiful banner. All right. And as you all can see, he's been on many, many, many different cruises. Okay, many different cruises as we come down.
Different
all right, and if you want to see him in the morning time,
honey,
where it says go live together, all right, you can find him with Jeremy and Cheryl and Eddie, yo, Brooklyn. All right, so go live together. There they are. So you guys can find him live together in the morning. All right, that's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so this is his channel, guys. Let us get him closer to that 7,000 subscriber mark.
Okay.
All right, with all this amazing content that he has. You know, one thing that I did not notice, Mustard Drill, you don't have joint membership.
I'm sorry?
You don't have joint membership on your channel.
No, I don't have memberships. I don't have merchandise. I don't have stuff like that or whatever. Again, it's not up to this point, it hasn't really been the focus of my channel. The focus of my channel has been traditional vlogging, vlogs. Again, I don't really do ship tours. I don't do room, tours. I don't, I don't do a lot of stuff. I do a traditional kind of vlog, jumping out of airplanes and, and stuff like that. And you see it the way I see it, which is like, again, like the camera angle that I use on my camera is you're seeing what I'm seeing at the same time, as I'm seeing it in the same way I'm seeing it. And I'm talking to you about the experience of being there and what it is that you can do and what it is that you can see when you're there, and how the day was and where I went and what I did there and stuff like that. Not really a brand, but not a brand in that respect, not a brand in that, I'm going to bring you special content or, some other type of, thing like that. And certainly, not merchandise, but that doesn't mean that I'm not open to that. It's just has not been the focus on my channel at this point. And that's the great thing about YouTube is that, if that's something that you're interested in, there's a lot of other channels that you can get that from. And those channels aren't doing what I'm doing either. They're not necessarily doing more, more of a traditional kind of vlog. They're, again, that's the great thing about YouTube. There's something different for every aspect of it, which is why there is so much room, even in a crowded space, for the same kind of niche. So
yes. And we have a question from Janice. Is you blogging or not? Yeah. All right. So final question for the evening for the muster drill. What would you
like people to take away from this interview?
For those that may watch the replay, for those that are here on tonight, that will come and want to know the muster drill.
Again, like I think I've said most of the thing, like I'm a traditional kind of, cruise and travel vlogger. What you're going to get from my channel is, you said, you're not going to get a lot of the, talking. I mean, you're going to hear me talking and stuff like that, but you're not going to get like the traditional, like my face is what you see primarily on the screen or whatever. And you have to kind of, look around me and stuff like that to try to make out things in the back. You're going to see what I'm seeing in the destinations that I'm in. You're going to have the most, bird's eye view, for lack of a better way of putting it, or first, in your face view of what it is that I'm seeing at those destinations. And I try to, I'm trying to show people most of what I want to see is probably what you're going to want to see. And if it isn't, I'm sorry about that. But in any event, I'm just trying to do a traditional vlog, show you what the places are like, what things are like. And I'm not trying to be the same as everybody else. Like I said, I'm trying to do things differently. So hopefully that's something that appeals to people and that, they'll want to see more of, and they'll come and watch my videos and interact with me and, leave me comments and stuff like that. So, I was really nervous before I did this interview, so I survived the interview already. So I'm happy about that or whatever. But that's just really it. It's my unique perspective. Hopefully people like it and enjoy it, and if you do, keep on watching. So
I know that's right.
Well, thank you so much. Well, guys, this was another one by yours truly,
House of X Entertainment.
Yes, and we stay entertaining.
Okay.
So I'm Winston,
and I'm Leah,
and our guest is none other than
Scott from the Muster Drill.
Yes. So we will see you guys on Saturday, I believe at 1 p.m. We'll be live at Bronx Anime Con. See you guys then, y'all.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Hey, turn me up a little. Yeah. Let me get a little more. They know who we at, man. Yeah. Just stay entertained.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Muster Drill. I'm Scott. I'm in beautiful Roatan, Honduras. Let's have a look around.